Today we'll be walking through a new script which is all about listening to when liquidity is added to a token on the Uniswap v2 router. So what is important for us to know is that for us to get the information at constant time in the most efficient way possible, the best way I found to do this is via logs. So we'll be listening to transfer logs involving each transaction on the mainnet, and we'll be filtering for specific logs involving the transfer topic and the Uniswap v2 router. So once we get the transaction, hash, we will get now the transaction receipt to get the data input. Why do we get the data input? Because I want to know what function signatures has been used for the specific transaction. Because if I know the function signature, then I can tell if it's an add liquidity event or if it's merely just a transfer event. Because transfer event also involves normal transaction of transferring one token to another or buying or selling a token. But in this case, we are only interested in adding liquidity to new tokens or to new pools created. So for example, in this example, we have the token address, we have the timestamp that we detected the token. Usually it's after 4 seconds that I get this information on my terminal. So we will just try this now. I will take this transaction hash, and I will bring it here. Ethereum. I will go here. Forgive me. Yes. So as you can see, 5:27:23, and here we have 5:27:25. So basically we got it after 2 seconds. We got this transaction. So this is the new token, and you can see it matches the address and the data input here. It says that it it was added to the liquidity, just as we can see here. So I'll do a little walk through the code. We're interested in this particular filter. You can ignore this. So basically, I'm using the Alchemy RPC. So I'll be listening to logs, and these are my topic filters. So we'll be looking for a log that involves a transfer event and that contains the Uniswap v2 router. So basically, when we get the transaction hash, we get the transaction receipt, just like I said. And then what I'm interested in the transaction receipt is the data input. So I will check if it starts with the signature. The signature means that it started with it's the signature for the function in the Uniswap v2 router smart contract that involves adding the liquidity. But sometimes a custom address is used, or a custom function is used. So sometimes you can get add liquidity, you can get open trading, or you can get create ERC20. So basically you have to, depending on the smart contract you're following or the developer that you're following that's creating tokens, you have to adapt your code to this specific information. So basically, once I find the log that I'm looking for, and then I have the data, it matches the data input that I'm looking for, then I'll get the information of the transaction. And but the only drawback with this is that you can modify the filter logs in such a way that you get only pools added for newly created tokens. Another system that you can use is that you can then filter out the creation date of the token by you can have a function that filters out the creation date of the token. So if the token was not created in less than, let's say, 24 hours, then you do not take into consideration this specific token. But in this sense, even a token that's been alive on the Ethereum blockchain for over a year and somehow they are adding liquidity with its function, then I will capture it. So yes, this is all about introducing you to how to fetch, how to listen to newly added polls in the on the Ethereum blockchain. So having this information also, it's like having an edge on the market, in the sense that you know the tokens that are being added liquidity. So for example, we are getting a transaction like this, which doesn't involve a new pool, just as you can see. But as I earlier said, with the logs, you can then filter out exactly what you want. So basically, this is quite like a quick example for you to see and for you to customize it the way you want. So we'll get through the other transaction hashes that I've seen. So you see this is InstaWeb to liquidity, just two holders. We'll try this one too. System AI, STEM AI, 116 holders, not too bad. Yes, one Ethereum, just like you can see here. So I just also want to add that having this does not necessarily mean that you'll be up for grabs for a winning token, but it gives you an opportunity to be on the forefront. I think in my future videos, I will be discussing how to efficiently snipe a token, because you can even see the token at the beginning of its life. But if you're unable to make your transaction on a specific block, then it can affect your profit in the long term. But a more efficient way for me to snipe a token is to snipe on the creator, on the block that the liquidity pool was added. If for some reason, due to the smart contract code, I can't add it, or I'm limited due to what the developer that created the token said, then the next possible available block, I should be able to make my purchase there. So that subsequently, when the other investors will be coming into this project, then I will be already in quite some profits, because I was quite early. So this gives you an important aspect of seeing which tokens are launching, and just like you can clearly see with the few examples that we had here, not all tokens will do great. So it's also important that you know how to really have your system in place. But I'll be discussing in my future videos how I get to handle this problem. So see you guys. Bye.